So if someone wanted to lose weight, what would be the best fat for them to eat? It's hard to say, isn't it? Because we've been so brainwashed against coconut oil. In fact, the body burns it. It's like the Australian farmer. He got a whole lot of coconuts cheap, so he thought he'd fatten up his cows. Well, his cows lost fat, put on muscle, and started bounding round the paddocks. Do you say paddocks? Fields. So if you want to lose fat and put on muscle and start bounding round Bermuda's mountains, what do you eat? Coconut. Knowledge is easy to him that understands, is that right?
Welcome to today's in-depth discussion, where we join Barbara O'Neill to address a challenge that many people face, especially as we age: weight loss. Over time, maintaining a healthy weight often feels more difficult, but with the right understanding, you can absolutely achieve your goals. Statistics show that a large percentage of adults over 50 are struggling with being overweight or obese, which leads to health problems like diabetes, heart disease, and joint pain. However, with just a few small lifestyle adjustments, you can significantly improve both your weight and overall health. In this video, I will share practical, science-backed tips to help you lose weight effectively. We'll explore what foods to choose, how to eat in a balanced way, and habits that can transform your life sustainably. These are not restrictive methods, but simple, actionable suggestions that fit easily into daily life. Start your journey today to discover a healthier, more energized version of yourself. Thank you for joining me.
And this is what a lot of people don't realise, especially when people go on a weight loss diet and stop all the fat, yeah? Fat-free this, fat-free that, fat-free, fat-free, fat-free. And yet what are they eating? Lots of carbohydrates. Do you know fat gives the feeling of satiation or satisfaction? And the best weight loss diet is a diet that stops your hunger. And fat stops the hunger. So what's happening on this high carbohydrate diet? People have eliminated the fat and they're eating lots and lots and lots of this, not realising that that excess glucose, once we've filled up the energy cycle, we've filled up the glycogen stores, and so now the body sends it to the fat cells. And on this high carbohydrate diet, what's happening to Americans and Australians? They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. In fact, it's one of the most dangerous fats, because what the body does is it stores it in the probably areas of the body that's not used a lot, maybe the arms, the belly, the hips, the thighs, and then when that gets all filled up, then it starts to go to the internal organs, weighing them down. And in the book Wheat Belly, notice the title of the book, Wheat Belly, Dr. William Davis, he shows that sugar particularly, sugar and the hybridized wheat. And the hybridized wheat is found in most breads, cakes, cereals, pastas, pizzas. Because it gets the blood sugar level up so high, so fast, as we looked at this morning, then very quickly it's dumped as a visceral fat on the belly. And in the book Wheat Belly, I think the word wheat belly he uses on just about every page, showing this process. And another fact, another very misunderstood fact, is that glucose burns at 4 calories per gram, whereas fat, it burns at 9 calories per gram. Now this piece of information, which is fact, is in just about every weight loss book as proof that if you want to lose weight, don't eat the fat. It's going to give you more than twice the calories. But what the people don't understand is what a calorie is. A calorie is a unit of energy. And if you want a high energy food, what do you eat? Fat. It's going to give you more than twice the units of energy compared to glucose. But if you're eating more calories than you can burn, yes, it's going to be stored.
Fat can play an important role in the weight loss journey, especially because it helps you feel fuller for longer. Unlike carbohydrates, which often cause significant blood sugar fluctuations, Fat provides stable energy, helping you maintain a sense of satisfaction after meals. This can support reducing calorie intake without feeling overly challenged. Incorporating healthy fats into your diet helps reduce constant hunger, lowering the risk of overeating. Sources of healthy fats like avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil are ideal choices, as they not only provide nutrition, but also trigger hormones that signal your brain you're full. This naturally aids in appetite control without making you feel forced or deprived. Another advantage is that fats don't cause the insulin spikes that carbohydrates do. Since insulin plays a role in fat storage, a diet low in refined carbohydrates but rich in healthy fats can encourage the body to utilize stored fat for energy. This is a valuable strategy for those looking to manage their weight effectively and sustainably.
I was not really interested in reading Dr. Atkins' book because everyone says it's just meat, dairy, cream, butter, cheese, eggs. That's what his diet is. So I thought, well, I'm not interested in that because I don't eat that. But we had a man come and do our program. This would be maybe 18 years ago now, and he said, I know you're not going to like it, Barbara, but I do very well on the Atkins diet. And when I go off the Atkins diet, I go down. Now, every good health professional, what will they do? They will listen. So I can't argue against that. And I want to know why. Why does this man do so well on the Atkins diet? So I was intrigued. And then about that time, maybe a fortnight later or 2 weeks later, we had another guy do our program. He's 44, fit, but he had a lot of allergies. And on the second day, remember we do our juice days Monday, Tuesday? So on Tuesday, 2 o'clock, I get a call. They said, quickly, Barbara, Anton needs to speak to you. I said, what's the matter, Anton? He said, I'm not doing well. He said, I feel terrible, I'm lightheaded, I'm feeling nauseous. My body says it needs protein. I said, okay. Because what have I got to do? I've got to listen. So I made him up a protein drink. At that stage, we weren't giving protein drinks to our guests. I didn't understand the 3 phases of the liver detox at that stage. It's actually only been known probably since 2000. So I gave him a protein drink. I saw him 10 minutes later. He said, thanks, that's good. So again, my mind starts to work. Why did that man go well on the Atkins diet? Why did that man need protein? And then the next piece of information in the equation, I was staying at a friend's house and I was staying in the spare room, and when I woke up in the morning, there's the bookcase at the end of the bed, and I love reading. I'm an avid reader. So my eyes are going through, and there was one book that seemed to just jump out at me, Dr. Atkins' New Revolutionary Diet. Righto, I said, I'll look at it. Do you know, I couldn't put it down. It's a fascinating book. His research and his story is very interesting. I went out that day and I bought his book. And this is his story, Dr. Atkins. He said he was a GP, late 40s, putting on a bit of excess weight. He knew his science. He knew that carbohydrates stored as fat. So he decided to do an experiment on himself. He decided to stop all carbohydrates. And he theorized that if he stopped all carbohydrates, his body would start to live on his fat stores. So what did he eat? He chose foods that had no carbohydrate. So his diet was high in protein, meat, butter, cream, cheese, eggs, that's a lot of protein. Fat, meat, butter, cream, cheese, eggs, that's a lot. But something else surprised me that you never hear about. He ate 3 cups of vegetables a day, and 1 cup had to be greens. And so there was the fibre. The weight just fell off him. He theorised right. He wasn't giving carbohydrates to his body, so, well, hardly any, a little bit in the vegetables. So his body started to live on his fat stores. The weight started to drop off him. He was never hungry because these are the 3 foods that give the feeling of satiation, satisfaction. He had lots of energy because your liver can convert protein and fat to glucose if it needs it, and it can break down your fat stores to give you glucose. It's called gluconeogenesis, creating glucose from the fat stores. Has he found the perfect diet? Never hungry. lots of energy, weight's falling off him, so he started to put some of his patients on this. It is estimated that 11 million people were helped by his diet. His book was #1 on the New York Times best-selling book list 4 years running. This guy demands some attention.
Low-carbohydrate diets such as Atkins are often effective for weight loss because they influence how the body manages insulin. By reducing carbohydrate intake, blood sugar levels become more stable, which leads to lower insulin production, the hormone responsible for fat storage. As a result, your body is more likely to use stored fat for energy instead of continuing to store it. This is why many people notice significant changes when following this type of diet. By increasing the consumption of protein and fat, this diet helps you feel fuller for longer compared to eating more carbohydrates. Prolonged satiety not only limits overeating, but also reduces the need to snack between meals. This makes it easier to stick to the diet without feeling deprived, which is often a major reason why other diets fail. When hunger is no longer a constant concern, controlling calorie intake becomes more natural and manageable. A key feature of this diet is its ability to induce ketosis. In this state, the liver converts fat into ketones, which are used for energy instead of carbohydrates. When the body relies on fat as its primary fuel source, burning stored fat becomes more efficient. Additionally, ketosis often results in more stable energy levels, avoiding the ups and downs that come with carbohydrate dependency. The diet also recognizes the importance of vegetables, particularly non-starchy ones. Vegetables provide fiber and essential nutrients, supporting overall health. Combining protein, healthy fats, and vegetables in your diet not only aids in weight loss, but also improves body composition by reducing fat while preserving muscle mass. Many people who adopt this approach report feeling more energetic, experiencing fewer mood swings, and better managing cravings, issues commonly associated with high-carbohydrate diets.
But what you can do superior to Atkins. You can do the plant proteins. You can do the plant fats. Dr. Atkins, on his first stage, he got people down to 20 grams of starch, carbohydrates a day. Do you know there's no need to go that low? All you need to do is greatly reduce the carbohydrates, ideally stop the wheat, eat more vegetables, eat more legumes, nuts and seeds, and you can get a similar result. Because of the results that he was getting, and by the way, his cancer patients were going into remission, people with high cholesterol were coming back to normal. Did everyone hear that? And his patients were eating meat, butter, cream, cheese, eggs. And what are people told to get their cholesterol levels down? They've got to stop the meat, butter, cream, cheese, eggs. So Atkins threw a spanner in the nutrition world's wheel, and it needed the spanner thrown into that wheel. And the only reason his patients got away with it for so long is the 3 cups of vegetables a day, which have an alkalizing effect. But the beauty of the plant proteins, it's much cleaner burning fuel. It doesn't leave an acid waste like the protein does. And when I was consulting with this man, he said to me, I believe if Dr. Atkins had read the China study, Atkins would have become a vegetarian. What an interesting comment. So you can get those results, but you can do it on a plant diet. You see, animal protein, it burns at, so let's look at protein. Animal protein, only 58% is burnt as fuel. So that's a 42% waste. That's the acid waste. And that's what Dr. Colin Campbell found in his book, The China Study. He could switch cancer cells on and off, and we looked at this briefly when we looked at cancer on the first night. Because it's an acid waste, and cancer thrives in an acid environment. We looked at that. Whereas plant protein, it's a lot cleaner burning fuel. It doesn't have that acid waste. So with plant protein, you're getting up to about 80% easy is burnt as fuel. That's a big difference. So your plant protein is a superior protein.
To lose weight effectively, transitioning to plant-based protein sources can be a worthwhile consideration. Plant proteins often help the body maintain a more balanced state, avoiding the excess acid waste that some animal protein sources produce. Without dealing with this imbalance, the body can focus on burning fat more efficiently, while also reducing fatigue and inflammation, factors that can hinder weight loss. Another advantage of a plant-based diet is its high fiber content. Foods like leafy greens, fruits, nuts, seeds, and legumes are naturally rich in fiber. Fiber helps you feel full for longer, stabilizes blood sugar, and slows down sugar absorption. This is particularly important because stable insulin levels can prevent excess fat storage. Additionally, fiber supports healthy digestion, creating favorable conditions for effective weight management. Legumes, such as lentils, chickpeas, and green peas, are excellent sources of protein and fiber, keeping you full without consuming too many calories. By replacing refined carbohydrates or high-fat animal products with legumes, you can reduce overall calorie intake while still feeling satisfied. Research has shown that maintaining a diet rich in legumes can improve long-term weight control. Healthy plant-based fats, such as those found in avocados, olive oil, nuts, and seeds, also play a vital role. These fats not only support heart health, but also help regulate hormones associated with hunger and satiety. This helps curb cravings and makes portion control more manageable. When consumed in moderation, healthy fats are less likely to contribute to weight gain compared to saturated or processed fats. A diet rich in plant-based foods also provides essential vitamins and minerals that support metabolism and maintain stable energy levels. When your body receives adequate nutrients, you're less likely to overeat due to nutrient cravings that processed foods often trigger. However, weight loss is not solely about diet. A balanced lifestyle, including regular physical activity and sufficient sleep, also plays a crucial role in achieving your goals.
So number 2 for weight loss, low carbohydrate. Low carb, high fiber, generous protein, and healthy fats. I gave the story this morning when I talked about diabetes of Jim, the guy who was a type 1 diabetic and got off all his medication. And do you remember the weight loss he experienced? Quite phenomenal. And it wasn't just that he was eating breakfast like a king, lunch like a queen, and tea like a pauper. It wasn't just that he was on a low carbohydrate, high fibre, generous protein and healthy fat diet. It was also the fact that he began to drink more water. He was having 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. And when you start drinking more water, it's also time to start having some whole salt. But it's the 4th point that I think made a dramatic effect. It all has an effect. And that was the high-intensity interval training. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you inside the cell and show you why the high-intensity interval training is so effective. So this is intervals of high intensity, intervals of recovery, and it's done for a cycle. And Doug McGuff, the heart doctor, he suggests 30 seconds high intensity, 90 seconds recovery for a cycle of 6. There's 15 minutes a day. Sorry, but no excuse. If you haven't got 15 minutes, start to write down how long you're on the computer, how long are you on the phone, how long are you on your iPad, how long do you spend watching television. There's one other factor, and this was the mind. And he said that he used to picture his new body. Sorry, but you can't lay back on the couch eating a high-carbohydrate diet and picture your new body. But it's part of it. It's having faith. Remember, God's way is built on faith and believing that you can recover. Number 6, hormones. On Friday night, I'm going to talk about hormones and the contraceptive pill, exposure to plastics, exposure to environmental poisons causes a rise in a hormone called estrogen. And estrogen is a cell proliferator. Cell proliferator means causes massive cell growth. And when a person's hormones are out of balance, it's almost impossible to lose weight. So balancing the hormones is another aspect. For some people, this is an important part. For some people, it's a major part. For some people, it's a minor part. For some people, it's not a part.
Thank you for taking the time to join me on this journey to explore weight loss tips today. Remember, losing weight is a process that requires patience, and even the smallest changes can make a big difference to your health. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your loved ones who might benefit from this information. To ensure you don't miss out on upcoming health and wellness tips, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Do you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. See you in the next video. Take good care of yourself, and let's continue moving toward a healthier, happier version of ourselves.